All right, back in action. Let's see. Let's see. Um, no, let's erase that. There we go. That's better. And done. All right. Hello, buzzing folks. Queen Bursty is finally back in action. Ooh, after a long vacation, it was crazy. Very crazy. Hello there, Geo Heroics. And yeah, I kind of did miss streaming, but you know, that whole Thanksgiving thing, it keeps you busy, you know? Hello there, Sin. So, interesting enough, today's stream, or tonight's stream, because it's nighttime from where I'm at right now. So, in this stream, I'm going to be going over this very interesting trope that I've been seeing a lot in animes. Well, in cartoons too, but it's mostly animes where it's mostly kind of aggravating in some ways. It's the violence gag. Mostly we see it with the, what are those character types called? Mostly the female characters, the ones who be pretty violent towards the main male character. What was it called? Oh, tsundere. That's what it's called, tsundere. I don't know why some people like tsunderes, but I don't really like them that much. Plus, they're kind of aggravating too. Like, geez Louise. But anyway, before I get started, how are you guys doing? You guys had a good Thanksgiving? Had some good turkey, a good meal? Or if you're a vegetarian, you can tell me what type of veggie stuff you ate for Thanksgiving. Just in case you're a vegetarian or vegan. So it's working because my laptop is acting kind of weird. It went by way too quickly. You're right, Sin. It is true. It did went by just a little too fast. And we're in December already, which is woohoo. But I am super excited for December because it is going to be Christmas and Kwanzaa. Or if you're Jewish, it's Hanukkah. Hope you guys enjoyed the celebration now. Hold on one second, I gotta check my phone really quick. Weird. Okay. Anyway, so where do I begin with this trope? So I think the very first thing I noticed when it comes to this trope is that I think the first time I actually saw it was in I think it was in Pokemon, where it was like Misty. She sometimes have her moments where she be hitting Ash a little too much. At first I thought it was funny, but then as I grew older, it kind of got old after a while after seeing it like over and over and over again. And plus, someone said this very interesting thing where they did say that when a female character does something violent to the male character, it's considered funny and praised. But then when the guy does it, then he's considered to be too, well, I would say the word, but I don't know. I don't want YouTube to get me. But if it's okay, then you guys know the word. It starts with an A. Oh, wait, hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. So, when did you guys first notice this violence gag trope? Whether it's like cartoon or animes or even video games or TV shows or anything like that? If you're an anime watcher, it's mostly common with anime, and usually we see it with tsundere characters. Even if the character doesn't be considered a tsundere, they'd be having like what's it called? Tsundere like characteristics. That's you, that's you, Super Vector. That's you and your thing. I won't judge. I think maybe it's the way it be used sometimes when it's like over and over and over again. If it's one time, then okay. But then multiple times, like over and over again, and making it too over the top, then no. But if you have a different sense of humor, then it's fine. And you know what? I have been laughing at some of the violence jokes sometimes, like I think in those old cartoons that I used to watch, I did used to see that a lot with Ed and Eddie. Like when Eddie gets a little too a little too angry with his friends. Sometimes, mostly Ed. Sometimes Double D, but it's mostly Ed who begin the beatings. But I think it's the unexpected type of violence in a ways, like those slapstick types. Yeah, the slapstick. That's what it was. Slapstick. Those are the ones that make me laugh. Who doesn't love a little slapstick comedy? But as long as they don't do it in a way where it's kind of like to a way that's kind of like bullying, then no. And we do recall some of those episodes where one character gets bullied by every single character for no reason. Even if that character is their best friend, they make them do something out of character. Ugh, that's just sickening. It's sickening. What's that? Mm. Oh gosh, I can't stand Peter Griffin. I used to think he was funny, but now he gets on my nerves. And if somebody says who would rather, if anybody would rather marry Homer or Peter, maybe Homer, because at least Homer cares about his kids. He can't be a good father sometimes. He has his moments where he can't be that dad, but it's okay. At least he's not taking it too far like Peter Griffin is. He got all the kinds of. Oh yes. And the way he treats his family and his friends and everyone, especially Meg. Poor Meg. She's like the example of the target of everyone's bullying, especially from her own family. I really don't like those type of humor where everybody just bullies one character. Because seriously, it reminds me of those days when I was bullied, even for no reason. And let's see. Other than that, let's see. Let's see. What other character does a lot of violence gags? I would say Sakura, but that's too obvious. Um, would you say Bakugo too? Maybe Bakugo from My Hero Academia? If it's possible, that is. Actually, yeah, Bakugo, he is very violent and rude and aggressive. But he did get better over time. Sure, he has his outbursts, but at least he's getting better because you know that's a sign of maturing. Everybody matures. That should be a song. Everybody matures. Everybody grows up. And let's see. And I think another violence gag thing. I think I noticed it with the if it's like a character who's like a sibling who's like the most um, aggressive one out of everyone in the group. Not group, I mean sibling group. Sorry. Let's see, Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry. Okay, so with those are if the show is mostly about like slapstick type of violence gags, then those could totally work. But actually, I have no words to say about those. Those are actually pretty funny. sometimes it can be pretty funny, and there are times where it could not be so funny because there are times where a certain character could take things a little too far, and you're like, okay, okay, that's too much. Slow down or knock it off. I think there were some characters who made me feel that way. I think it was maybe Sarah from Ed and Eddie. She was a little too mean sometimes, especially towards her brother, who was like the nicest, gentle soul. Even though he stinks, but he has a gentle soul. And let's see. Oh yeah, and Sarah, she makes violence look so scary that it makes Eddie look like an angel. Brian and Stewie. Oh god. Okay, so Brian, I do not want to go on about Brian. He just, ugh. I don't like talking about him because talking about him gives me a headache. But as for Stewie, it could depend on how he uses the violence sometimes, because sometimes it can be a little funny at times, but I noticed that he may not be as violent as he used to, like when he tried to, in the past, try to get rid of Lois back in the day, which was pretty funny. But he ends up failing every time. And sometimes Brian be having like a bit of a funny moment at times, like when he was the voice of reason. But is there any other character you guys know who does like a violence gag or who's a little too violent? I think I would say Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but that's kind of like a personality trait of his. But in the 2012 one, of course, he hits Mikey, but it's like on and off brother thing. The older brother and the youngest brother trope thing. Maybe I should get into that trope one day, maybe about siblings and their personality traits with each other. That would be interesting. Any other characters you guys know? Which one? The puppet? You mean the Muppets or like the different type of puppet show? You talk about the Muppets, right? Because I can't recall. I haven't seen the Muppets in so long that I kind of forgot. But it's okay. Any other characters? Hello there, DP0. How's it going? Just going over a very interesting trope about the violence thing. Oh, any puppet show? I can't really say anything about that because I don't really watch puppet shows like that. But if you have a different opinion about it, you can let me know. Because I bet some of them are a little graphic sometimes. Maybe. It might be the mature ones I'm thinking of. Oh, I'm doing good, Zero. Thank you. I just, I was a little exhausted after the whole Thanksgiving thing, but it's okay. It's pretty common with Thanksgiving. But things are gonna get better around Christmas and Kwanzaa. Oh Lord, I stopped watching SML a while back, and uh, uh, I can't really say anything about FleshTubers because some of the things that they've done is a little scary. I can't go back. I'm sorry, I can't. Too scary. And what's that? Oh, I get you, Zero, because I remember those days in school used to drive me nuts. But don't worry, those days will be over before you know it. And then you can enjoy your peace and quiet for the time being. Let's see. I think another violence character was maybe in Pokemon. I guess you could say Jessie in a way. But I think the only time the violence can work is when, let's say, a character deserves it. Like maybe like a little punishment or something like that. Oh, Donald Duck. Okay, his outbursts are actually pretty funny, and the way he gets angry sometimes, it kind of reminds me of those times when I'd be having like a meltdown episode. He's basically a mood. But Donald Duck, I'll take him as like the funny one. He's a funny one. Deadpool, I used to like Deadpool, but now not so much now because he kind of annoy me sometimes. But if you guys like him, then I won't judge you. I won't judge anyone. No judges around here. Weird. Okay. So, anything else? Anything else before I go into like very helpful details about how to use a violence gag? Oh no, those actually made me laugh. I think it's when they're overused is when it starts to annoy me. I do like some characters who did break the fourth wall, like for example, Conquer from Conquer's Bad Fur Day. And I can't recall any other characters who break the fourth wall. I mean, it takes a little while, but eh. Not so many characters who break the fourth wall unless you're Conquer. Conquer the squirrel. And I will surprise you guys about that game, Conquer's Bad Fur Day. I played that game since I was 3 years old, and I was not supposed to play that game because that game was rated M for mature. A little child playing a mature game. Now that is scary. But man, but that was a childhood. Nobody judged the childhood, all right? Hey there, Queen AG. How you doing, girl? Yes, Super Vector. That is my favorite thing from the game is that when the game locked up. Get rid of this background. It's pretty grimy. Ah, that was great. That game was so funny. It still makes me laugh to this day, especially them stupid deaths. And so, let's see. That's okay, AG. At the age of 3 years old, it was unexpected, but playing video games was my life at the time. Little Bursty at a very young age, playing a mature game and playing video games, like at that age, she had the skills. She was killing it. Except I didn't beat the game, but you know, there were some parts in the game that were like really, really difficult. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, you talking about that scene, AG, the one with the cows and the juice thing? You thought it was strawberry jam, and it was actually prune juice, which is a juice that you're not supposed to drink. It's gonna give you the screaming squits. Oh, that was so funny. Let's see. Oh, what's that, Super Vector? Let's see, out of all years. Hmm. Wait, what was that? Oh, the least favorite. I think if I had to choose the most favorite, maybe um, wow, I don't know. I think if I had to choose which character is the favorite, I think the favorites mostly the ones who remind me of myself. But the least favorite are the ones who are like bullies and who are mean. Character tropes, that is. Oh, and what's that, AG? Let's see. Oh, you talk about that one part in the game. And of course, the infamous part in the game, the stinky cabin. Conker's world is a very interesting world, and what still shocks me is that that is the same universe as Donkey Kong and Banjo Kazooie. That's crazy when you think about it. And let's see what else. You heard that one part too well, AG. That the oh, you prefer the Honey Mountain instead of the Stinky Mountain. That's why Conker, every time he enters the area, he has to wear a gas mask and it stinks. But hey, being around that Honey Mountain, it reminds me of the honey bees because I say buzzing folks all the time. Totally, you know it. I think the only thing I don't like the fact is that they were actually wasps, which is what I don't like. But I do love bees though. Yeah, let's see, and let's see, Wario, Waluigi, and Bowser. Hmm. I think out of all of them, I think I maybe have to choose maybe Waluigi. Wario would get on my nerves, and Bowser, uh, uh, his love for Peach is gonna gross me out. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about that. That is true. Family Guy has been taking the things just a little bit too far sometimes. The Simpsons, they're kind of running out of ideas. And what else? What was that show called? I think the show that still does pretty well and some parts of it didn't age really well was the Boondocks. If you guys remember the Boondocks, the show was basically like a commentary, like a satire commentary on like the black culture and stuff and what's been going on and stuff. That it still happens to this day. South Park. Okay, so South Park. I wasn't allowed to watch that because the show was like too mature for my age, and I still avoid watching that show. But there are times where I do watch a few clips from South Park. Sometimes their jokes can be a little too much for me, but it's okay. The show can sometimes be like certain people who like that sort of humor, and the others who don't really enjoy it don't have to watch it. Oh, Eric Cartman, I can't stand him. And I'll never forgive him at that moment when he made a Token and Nicole. Uh, well, kind of torn in between. Even though they are kind of cute, but I still think it would have been cute if Nicole actually did dated Kyle. It'll be like a cute interracial relationship, you know. Let's see, and the Boondocks. I mean, AG, they have been doing pretty well at the time, and there were some of the things that were talked about back then that are still going on to this day. There are some things in the show that did age well, and there are some other things in the show that did not age well. Like even Harry on a Hook made this very interesting video about the fact of that episode, the one that features that what's it called, the that disgraced singer himself and what he did. Ugh, ugh. Think about him. It's just oof. It was some of the jokes in there, AG. Some of the jokes that were in there at the time, they kind of didn't age too well. And of course, the episode about that infamous disgraced singer. That is true, AG. And I don't like saying his name because saying his name makes me uncomfortable now. It was the one who sang that song, I Believe I Could Fly. But it's okay. Oh, but it's okay. The Gumball. Okay, Gumball is actually pretty funny, but I don't watch it too much though. I think the one who's more messed up is maybe Eric Cartman because the stuff that he does and the way he says things and the way he treats Kyle for being Jewish, yeah, and the way he treats Token and the way he treats Token for being in a relationship um, with Nicole, basically because they both are the same race. Wow, Cartman, just wow. And let's see. Yep, that is true, AG. The only way that violence can actually be funny is when it's like a slapstick. But then if it's like over the top violence, like when it's used over and over and over again, then it's not really funny to me. Or hitting a character for no reason. Or if they can simply be like, hi, and then you're like, get out of my face and punch them in the face. They basically got hit for being nice. And that's not very nice. Oh Lord, that show. Okay, that show, Happy Tree Friends. I remember somebody tried to show me that show like back in middle school, and I did not want to watch that show at all. Oh, and also the reason why I say Eric Cartman's more messed up because at least Conquer has morals, you know. Like, sure, he's selfish and can be greedy and stuff, and mostly care about money, but he does have a heart to him, honestly. And he's kind of relatable in some ways. Like when you think about it, he is kind of relatable in some ways. It's cool, Summer Vector. You do your thing. You like what you like. Everybody likes what they like. Happy Tree Friends was way too graphic for me. I can't handle it. But anyway, so I will give you guys like I'll give any future writers who need a little tip about like how to do violence and stuff. So basically, if you want your what you call it, if you want to use like a violence to tell the story or something like that, you can, and you can use it in a way to like bring like a like character development and maybe show how it affects them in their situation, like thinking back to it. And when they have those scars or scratches on them, it can give them like a either gives them strength and it could be used as like a memory and strength to help them out throughout their adventure and train to get stronger. I've been learning how to do that with like my stories recently, like the volume 2 of the book that I'm currently working on. I'm actually impressed at how I did the violence on there. At first, I thought writing a fight scene would be difficult, but it turns out, depending on how it's used, I actually, what you call it? I thought deeply about it and thought how it would affect the character and how it would affect the person and or an animal if it's an animal, like how it affects them physically, mentally, and emotionally. It wasn't easy though. It took me days to write all of that. Like it took me days. But I'm almost done with volume 2 and then soon I'll be working on volume 3. But don't worry, the book will be out soon. I mean, it's not easy, guys. Like writing violence in stories is never easy, and I didn't want it to be like too over the top. I wanted to add like a bit of a realism to it, like add a bit of a tongue twister, add a realistic feel to it. My stupid tongue. And let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed your comments. Let's see. Safe for kids. And that is funny too, Jaden. It's like they missed some of the videos where they're supposed to say we're supposed to be safe for kids, but then it doesn't do anything. Like, boo you. Oh, speaking of that one right there, where it says sadistic, um, it mostly depends on how that character is. Like, if they are sadistic, like in a high way or in a low way, then it can be um, different, different depending on how they are, like physically or mentally, or emotionally. I can't forget emotionally. Oh, and speaking of that one right there, a mature story. So basically, I would say mature, but not adult. More like mature. It's in like the character's mental health in a way. Like interesting enough, this main character, I'm changing some things about her, and well, AG might already know who she is, but the others, um, she's a golden liger, and I gave her a very interesting fear and or phobia, some people call it. The phobia I gave her is that she fears guns, like firearms. She fears guns. And if you guys are wondering why, you'll find out soon in the book once it's out. Oh, my throat was dry. Okay. As for that one, no. So YouTube. Okay, that one's kind of gross. I won't answer that one. Let's see. I remember Bad Boys. That is true, Jaden. Violence can be funny if depending on how it's used, like in a story. As for Knuckles the Echidna, his whole entire character is that he's basically strong, and of course he has to use violence, but depending on how he uses it, though. As for Shadow the Hedgehog, he has a different type of violence. I think he only gives violence to those who actually deserves it. That one, that name, AG. Nah, I'm gonna say that for something else. It's still gonna be called by her name though, and by her species name. But Volume 2, it's almost done. I just got one last part to go. Hold on one second. My nose. Okay, sorry about that. All right, let's see. Oh, Mephiles is scary. But for some reason, I don't know why. Mephiles, do you guys think Mephiles and Frollo would get along pretty well? Because they both are related to like religion in some ways, and that's kind of scary. And what's that, Jaden? Okay, those actually be one of my favorite funny moments with the violence. Those are pretty hilarious. Sometimes you just gotta smack some sense into them. Smack some sense into them. Okay, let's see. It's okay, AG. I think I said it wrong. Sorry. But don't worry, them books will be out soon and you'll definitely be impressed. And of course, if you want to do like something related to um, like a story related to my characters, you can do that too. If you want, you have my permission to do so. Once the book is out, of course. But make sure you claim who they belong to. And let's see. That is true, AG. Both Mephiles and Frollo, they do have a very interesting thing in common. It's that they are like creeps. You know, like scary creeps. Ooh, hold on, I got a cough. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, you mean Joe from Family Guy? Yeah. Ganondorf. Can't say too much about that one. And let's see. Nazla the Hedgehog. I've seen pictures of that character, but I don't know who that is. Sorry. Let's see. Oh yeah, sure, you can do that, AG. You can totally do that. And I've been wondering what she would sound like, but basically, it's okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so I've been thinking of a voice for her, and she would sound like she has a bit of a voice like you know, like this, very sweet and friendly. Meow. Kind of like that in a way. But I'm still working on the voice though. The voice is taking a little bit though. Let's see. And you know what, Jaden, that is true. If they're a little too gorified, then I can't handle that. It'd be a little too much. I can't handle too much grr, you know? Like gore, you know? It's a little too gross sometimes. Fleetway Supersonic. I see pictures of that character, but I don't know. He creeps me out. He legit creeps me out. That's right, AG. She'll have like a bit of a purr in her voice when she talks. And as for Rygon, he probably wouldn't have like a purr in his voice. He'll have like a very like a voice like this, you know. Whatever. Failure. And yes, that's the nickname he calls Mila. He calls her Failure. Yep. And don't forget his catchphrase. His catchphrase is, you know, it's. That's his catchphrase. And let's see. What is that? Metalex? I mean, Metalex? What's Metalex? Yep, just like that. It's like a little hiss. Because after all, they are like related to cats, so yeah. And let's see, what is that? Oh Lord, Glenn Quagmire, oh no. That man needs help. Let's see. Oh, that's what that is. Sorry guys, I'm a little behind when it comes to like stuff about Sonic is because I've been too busy like with my stories and stuff that I haven't really paid too much attention. So sorry guys. But then again, that did happen to me like with some series is that sometimes I kind of lose focus on what I'm watching or what I'm doing because I be too focused on other things or what I'm doing. But it's cool. It's kind of like distraction, you know? But don't worry, I'm trying to get back into my phase like on certain things and just have a little fun, you know, of what I enjoy. But I'm still looking forward to seeing the Sonic 3 movie. I hope it's gonna be fun, you know? It doesn't have to be perfect, it has to be fun. Not perfect, fun. Two different things. And oh yeah, and AG, you can't forget that Mila's phobia is firearms or guns. As for Rygon's fear, um, uh, I haven't found out the fear yet. I think the fear maybe abandonment. That's his fear. But I'm working on it though. I don't know about his fear yet, but I'll figure it out. What is that? What? Silka. I'm sorry, my English is bad. Silka Doom. What is that? Oh, yes, it is. Okay. Sorry, kind of lacking. And let's see. Anything else with I think with villains, they'd be doing a very interesting type of violence, and basically, I think violence might be their answer to everything, like how they feel, and they want to bring more pain to others because they feel pain. It's almost like a scream for help, you know, just without saying it. That's another type of violence who I let it slide. It's mostly the villains. You see, it's very easy to think of violent characters. Sometimes, if they're your favorite character, that is. Not all, but some. And what's that? Let's see. Principal. Um. Yeah, because I haven't heard too much. I kind of lacking behind with the whole comics thing. And let's see. Who's Principal Skinner again? And Steam Hams? Sorry. Arkham games. Never played Arkham. Sorry, but I heard about it though. Mm, Rusty Rose. I've heard of the character, but don't know who that is. Mm. Oh, okay, okay. I almost forgot about that. That was a Batman. Okay, Batman's hands are rated E for everyone. Yeah, get it? Rated E for everyone. That was a classic thing I used to see a lot in video games. Besides rated T for teen, I think T for teen is kind of underrated. Rated M for mature, there was a common too. But some rated E for everyone games have a different type of violence. Sometimes they can be cartoonish or uh, different, whereas the mature games, they're a lot more gore and bloody. Depending on a certain game, though. Let's see, hold on, what time is it? Ew. Okay, so anything else you guys want to? That should be a rating, rated N for nobody. Nobody should be playing this game. Oh, that would be funny. They'd be like, what is this, rated N for nobody to play this game? Because it sucks or is it too violent? Rated B for boring. Ooh, that should be a new one. Rated B for boring. And let's see, anything else? I kind of lost track what I was talking about. Oh, is there a wait? What? Hotel Mario Mickey? That's funny. Let's see. Is there anything else you guys want to add about the violence character before I go? Before I go for the evening, or if it's y'all time, maybe morning or afternoon or whatever. But it's nighttime for me, so going for the evening. Let's see. I think another advice I'll give is that what was the other advice? If your character is a very violent character, it's best to show why that character is very violent and why they choose violence over anything. Because then that makes like the audience understand like why the character is acting the way they do. Oh, it's not time for you too? Okay. I think you're right. I think we did cover it mostly enough. So I'll just finish this one last part by giving some advice. Make sure the character has a reason why they're violent. Give them a story as for why they chose violence and why they act the way they do. And also um, show the audience like how it's affecting them physically, mentally, and emotionally. I mean, it's not easy, but it's always best to give the reason why instead of just letting them do it just because then it makes them seem like they're just a bully, or just a jerkhole. All right, and that's pretty much all I have. Anything else you guys want to say? Or if not, then I'll just get going for the evening. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All I have because the violence trope is kind of pretty simple. It's kind of like the show don't tell trope thing, where it's kind of simple but effective. But sometimes the things need little details, even if they are simple. It's cool though, AG. I always come back for more streams. There will always be more to come. Alrighty, Super Vector, you enjoyed doing your fan art. Have fun with it. And love you right back too, AG. And of course, happy holidays. Yeah. Okay, so early Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy everything, and Happy holidays to all. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys soon, buzzing folks. I'll be back for more streaming. And maybe soon somebody else could join me. But other than that, see you soon, buzzing folks.